And good morning, YouTube. It's 2:02 a.m. Friday night, although technically Saturday, June 10th, 2023. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to work the overtime shift that I really want to work this morning due to no transportation, which fucking sucks. It's, I don't know, do the math. $18.50 an hour times 9 hours of income I'm not going to be able to make due to not having reliable transportation. And the so-called girlfriend is like, oh, well, you're not going to be able to take my vehicle because I got things I need to do tomorrow. I'm like, okay, have fucking fun with that. And I'm looking at the Valley Metro Transit app just to see, well, how close can I get there? And interestingly enough, there is one bus that kind of goes near, and I'm using there's no way that guy was going anywhere near the speed limit. God damn. No, there's one bus that goes remotely near there. And it's a real outlier. Like if you look at the Valley Metro app, or what do you call it? The inside the app, there's a map that you can open that shows the entire system map. And there's one bus that actually goes kind of into that area, which is completely separated. It goes into this area where there's otherwise just absolutely no other public transit anywhere near it. And that's the Route 70. It goes to, I forget the name of the gate, but it goes to the Luke Air Force Base Visitor Center, which is by, I want to say the North Gate, but it's got a name. Oh, nice of you to block the sidewalk there, asshole. Yeah, it's that gate is right off Litchfield Road, maybe about a quarter mile-ish north of Glendale Avenue. And up to that point, it just goes all the way out Glendale Avenue. And it actually is a pretty good route to get me there from this part of town. Because as I've explained before, the Route 70, which is the Glendale Avenue bus, actually, when you take it eastbound from the west side of town on Glendale Avenue, where Glendale turns into Lincoln, it follows Lincoln to 24th Street, and then it goes south on 24th Street all the way through the east side of Phoenix, central Phoenix, and then all the way south to I believe it's South Mountain Community College there, where they've got that transit center over by 24th Street and Baseline, which is near the I shot a vlog there the day I actually found out I was fired from Amazon a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, however long it was. Yeah, that's where the Route 70 ends, over by the Target where I got my my big micro SD card that I put in Obamaphone 3. Oh, by the way, I got some good news about Obamaphone 3, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Maybe. Or maybe I'll forget about it. There's somebody chilling over there in an electric scooter. Good times. Anyway. Anyway, as far as for me to get there, I could take either the Route 29 going down Thomas, or the Route 17 going down McDowell, which is the road I'm walking on right now, over to 24th Street, and get on the Route 70. And the Route 70 will go north on 24th Street to Lincoln Drive, and then west on Lincoln Drive until it turns into Glendale Avenue, and it actually goes all the way to Litchfield Road. It's the only bus that goes anywhere near that far west, I think. I mean, I kind of want to fact check that on Obamaphone 4, but I don't have service over here on it. I don't have service on it. I need to get Wi-Fi, and I don't know that there's anywhere I could catch Wi-Fi right here on this part of McDowell right now. But anyway, I think the Route 3 has a few routes that go almost that far west, and I can't think of any other bus routes that go anywhere near that far west. But by far the 70's one that goes the farthest west to Litchfield Road, which puts me on the other side of Luke Air Force Base from the Williams-Sonoma Furniture Warehouse, which is a doable distance. Like I could get with paying for an Uber or a Lyft to take me from the St. Luke's Visitor Center over to the Furniture Warehouse. Like, I'm not sure what that would cost, but I could get with that, because you'd got about a mile to the north, a mile to the north to Northern, and then I want to say 2 miles to the west to get over to Reams, or maybe 3 miles. Most places in Phoenix, like, you just tell me the street corners, I can tell you exactly how many miles it is from point A to point B because of the grid system, but I'm not sure how many miles it is from Litchfield to Reams, if that's 2 or 3. Actually, I think it's 3. Anyway, from Reams and Northern, it's a half mile south to Orangewood, and then a half mile down Orangewood to the entrance where I go into work. And I could actually shave 1.5 miles off of that, I think, and have them drop me off. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Like, probably, I don't know if I'd want to brave that if I did it, but I think they could probably drop me off right there at the property line where the Squares Logistics Center starts. A half mile east of Reams Road on Northern. There's a new warehouse being built directly to the north of the one that I work in. That's equally huge. I have no idea what's going to go in there. And it's a good chance that whoever is building it has no idea what's going to go in there. They're just building it speculatively. But yeah, that whole half square or quarter square mile, which is a half mile by a half mile, between Glendale and Orangewood and Reams, and then the grid. I don't know what the street name would be, and there's not a street there anyway, but the line and the grid that's a half mile east of Reams Road. That's the property line, which is the western boundary, at least through there, the western boundary of Luke Air Force Base. Anyway, I think I could probably have it'd be really weird for the driver, but have him just drop me off right there at that point on Northern, and probably walk directly south. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably fences that would be in the way. In fact, there's definitely would be a fence between the new warehouse and the Williams-Sonoma warehouse. Nope, I'd have to tough it out and go that. It's just walkability. It's just not really built into this city. Too many fences obstructing what could be a half-mile walk and turning it into a 1.5-mile drive. But anyway, like, that would be a doable distance. So I'm looking at the bus schedule and already kind of disappointed that she's just like, oh, so I don't know what she thinks she has to do tomorrow, but really it couldn't wait till I get back at 2:30. Okay. And granted, I mean, she doesn't owe me a ride, but I mean, she kind of came through yesterday, so I figured she'd at least want to come through for me today. But no, apparently not. And then she had to take it one step farther, which pissed me off enough that I've just gone walking down McDowell as opposed to leaving with her. Because, yeah, no, you can't fucking... You're going to argue with me and you can't fucking listen. I'd rather go for a walk by myself. I don't need it. I absolutely don't need it. But she's asking, well, when's the earliest you can get there? And I'm looking at the bus and I'm thinking, well, maybe the Route 70 will get me there. But I know on a Saturday schedule there's going to be less buses. But like most other bus routes in Phoenix, not every bus on the route goes to the end of the line. Which reminds me of this argument I had with this dippy fucking bitch over at 32nd Street and Thomas in front of the Hideaway while I was waiting for the Route 29 in hopes that I would make it to Wells Fargo Bank before they closed. I mean, I literally got there right when they locked the door, pretty much. But which is fine. I mean, I got my check deposited from the ATM, along with a little extra drama from a security guard. I already pretty much rehashed that. But yeah, the what you call it, so anyway, I'm looking to see, knowing that there's going to be some limits, and I guess it didn't even occur to me that, of course, not every bus that goes on the Route 70 goes all the way west to Litchfield, and then, you know, north up to the St. Luke's, or the, what do you call it, the Luke Air Force Base Visitor Center there, which is the end of the line. There's a little transit center there for it. Of course, not every bus goes that far west. And I forget where the point is where the ones that don't go that far west stop, but it's nowhere near there. In fact, I want to say it's probably the border between Phoenix and Glendale, which would be 43rd Avenue and Glendale. So yeah, 43rd Avenue is not getting me anywhere remotely near there. And this is where the argument with Priscilla just got to the point. I'm like, I just can't even deal with you, but you don't fucking listen. But she's asking, well, where can you take a light rail to? Light rail. I'm like, how oblivious are you? Like, you don't ride the bus. You don't have a fucking clue. You've never used you don't use public transit. You don't even get it. But yeah, the light rail does not go west of 19th Avenue whatsoever. When you get to the west side of town, it goes north and south. It goes north on Central to Camelback. Goes west on Camelback to 19th Avenue. And from 19th Avenue to Camelback, it just goes north up to Dunlap on 19th Avenue. Yeah, 19th Avenue is not a distance that's affordable using public transit or using rideshare. Like, 19th Avenue is nowhere near Reams Road, to say nothing of Litchfield Road. I mean, it's like she's, well, blah blah blah, use the light rail, blah blah blah. The light rail doesn't go where I'm going. And there's some other random dude, I don't even know who he was like nodding at me, like apparently he gets it, like yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. And I said, so anyway, I'm looking at the schedule, and the Route 70 does start very early in the morning. I want to say about 4 a.m. And granted, I'm wanting to get to work at 4 a.m. But I'm thinking, you know, if I can get there by like 6, because I've noticed with the overtime shifts on Saturday, they're just happy whenever people show up. That's an extra day that nobody's, you know, that for most people is a day off. Anybody that can come in, they appreciate them coming in. Over at the warehouse I work at now, they appreciate them coming in. So I've noticed some people like I noticed with me getting there at 5 that there were people that were there already that said, oh yeah, we got here at 4. Okay, cool. How do I get in on that? And I was finally like asked to get in on that this afternoon by, I think his name's Adolfo. Basically the main manager, the guy who certified me for forklift over at Williams-Sonoma. Anyway, cool. I'd love to get in there earlier. Makes more sense. More hours, the more hours I can get for the drive, to offset the cost of gas of driving all the fucking way out there, the better. And plus, I mean, it would be nice to get a paycheck with some overtime on it, because I lost a day of work this week on the day that I woke up and was just feeling super nauseous and kept coughing and hacking. And of course, the biggest problem was just, stress and lack of sleep, because the schedule is just hell on me. Even with my car, it's fucking hell on me. But, so yeah, I mean, I got 40, I got just shy of 40 hours this week, and maybe I'll get lucky like the week before. And even though I worked less than 40 hours, I get paid for 40 hours. Although I fully expect them to realize that, oh shit, no, we paid him for 40 hours, but he took off one day an hour and a half early. We need to get that money back. I fully expect that at this point. And they wouldn't be out of line to do that. They straight up overpaid me for an hour and a half this last paycheck. But yeah, no, I lost a day. What was it? Tuesday. Went in Monday, didn't go in Tuesday. And then today, again, because of Priscilla saying one thing and then changing at the last minute, I make plans based on what other people say if it involves those other people. So if other people don't follow through on what they say, it fucks me up. I mean, not that I don't appreciate her letting me use her vehicle to go to work today. That was all well and good. But when I got to her place yesterday, shortly after I climbed into her bed. Now, it might not have been there. It might not have been until after she got off work. And speaking of not following through on her word, she did say, gave me her word via Snapchat, that she was going to jump in bed naked with me right after she got off work. She gets off work at 6. And that's not what she did. After 6, she called and had this long, drawn-out conversation on the phone, so I could hear it from her room, with her aunt. Now, I know her aunt's dealing with some stuff regarding property and her uncle who died and real estate and blah, 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 and I get that, and that's important. I'm not trying to say that that's not important and it's not something that she should handle. But don't lie to me. Don't make promises to me and then not follow through with her. She promised me that she was coming in to join me naked when she got off work at 6 o'clock. And by 7 o'clock, I'm laying in there listening to her blah, 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 blah on the phone. Now, I came in and realized, she's talking to her aunt. But yeah, she did not hold true to her word. It was a good solid hour and a half later that she showed up into the bed. And she did at least, show up naked, and that was fabulous. No complaints there. Other than one thing I wanted to do, she wouldn't let me do, but that's a little more explicit detail than anybody really needs on this vlog. But anyway, yeah, she an hour. She was going to be in bed with me when she got off work. She got off work at 6, but she did something else instead of what she said she was going to do right after work. And basically, I slice it, wasted an hour and a half of my time. Again, showing me that my time is not valuable to her. That keeping her word to me is not valuable to her. So, yeah. When she did come in, and she's like, well, what was it that you're so frustrated about? And I said, well, my fucking car didn't start. I walked over here. Because at that point, she didn't know that. I think she assumed that I had driven over there, and it's just a bit of a walk from where I have to park to where her apartment is, going through that pedestrian gate, and the gates at her gated complex are ridiculous. I couldn't even leave this morning. Like, I literally was trapped in there. The pedestrian gate, which is supposed to just open from the inside, would not open. And I couldn't figure out any way to get out. Like, literally, I would have had to climb a gate to escape from her apartment complex this morning. Which has got to be against fire code. So I'm thinking it's against fire code. And she apparently didn't believe me when I called her and told her that. The first thing she did is walked out and tried to open the gate. It's like, I told you the gate doesn't work. What, do you think I'm a liar? Do you think I'm an idiot? Because you're an idiot for fucking coming and checking that when I already told you it doesn't work. So, yeah. I saw flashing lights going down McDowell. Looks like ambulances and stuff. But anyway, when she came in and came into her bedroom an hour and a half later than when she said she was going to, not keeping her word. And I told her that, my car didn't start. And she's like, well, what are you planning to do? I said, I don't know. I figured deal with that later. I said, I don't have a lot of options if I can't drive to work. It's not a place I can get to with public transit. And it's not cost effective to take rideshare there. It's like $50. At least that's the estimate I got on Google. $50 to take a lift from my place to the warehouse. So, double that, $100. I don't make much more than $100 a shift. So it doesn't make sense to me to spend $100 on transportation to go work for 8 hours to pay for that transportation. I'd just rather lay in bed and do absolutely nothing. It's ridiculous. Spend that time looking for a job that's not so goddamn far from home. Anyway, when she came in and I told her that, what she told me at that time was, oh, that's fine. You can just drive my vehicle there tomorrow. Just, And I'm thinking, okay, cool, that'll work. Which kind of gave me ease of mind. I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. I can enjoy staying the night with you. I already fed my cats, so I don't have to go back home. I came here wearing my K-Power safety vest and my socks and my work shoes. So yeah, that's fine. I don't need to go back home. I can just, after she told me that I could, use her vehicle the next day, I'm thinking, okay, well that's covered. So anyway, other things she did, I felt kind of wasted my time. I don't even want to go to that. That's just me nitpicking. But yeah, I didn't get a lot of sleep, and it's all right. I mean, sex is a good reason not to get sleep in my book. But yeah, when my first alarm went off, which is at around 3:30 a.m. Actually, you know what? My one for 3:30 a.m. didn't go off because it was on the Obamaphone, and I didn't have a charger for the Obamaphone at her place. So by the time that alarm would have gone off, the phone was already dead. So I ended up, it wasn't until the first alarm went off on the iPhone, which is probably closer to, I want to say 3:50. And I've found that I can, as long as I'm not planning on stopping to get food or stopping to get a drink, I can leave at about, if I'm driving, I can leave around 4:15, and I hit the warehouse in plenty of time to go to work. 45 minutes at that time in the morning. And I can't make it home that much. It's too much traffic, but I can get out there in 45 minutes without having to drive like a maniac. I can drive comfortably and get there. So So that's fine. And at this point, when that alarm goes off, I'm like, oh, I got to get up. And I'm tired, but I'm getting up. And I'm thinking at that point, she's just going to hand me her keys, because that's what she told me, was that I would be able to use her vehicle. That's what she told me at like 7:30 p.m. when she finally came in to the bedroom, even though she had told me she would be coming in at 6. Came in an hour and a half late, not directly after work, as she promised she would. Not keeping her promises to me again. But told me that use her vehicle in the morning. So I'm thinking, okay, I can get up. And I probably should have got the keys from her already. But at that point, she's like, oh, well, you going to go start your car? It's like, my car's not going to start. She's like, well, can't you have AAA come start it? And again, like, that, okay, AAA can come start it, but I don't know why it didn't start. A jump start doesn't magically solve that. I mean, maybe it was just I left my headlights on and came out, and that's why I didn't start, in which case a jump start will do it, but I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know the car's still drivable. I absolutely don't know. And I made no effort to find out last night because you told me I could use my car this morning. I'm not telling her that, but I mean, that's the reality. I had made no effort to do anything about that on Thursday night because she told me that I could use her car on Friday. I figured, okay, got that. Wow, look at this. A bucket of clothes and shoes. Another big old bucket of clothes. It's interesting how homeless people leave shit behind in places like this. So anyway, she. So that's what she told me. So I'm kind of, again, like, expecting her to keep her word, and she didn't. So at that point, at that point, like, I'm just, like, she had led me to believe that I would be using her vehicle in the morning, and then suddenly it's morning, and blah blah blah. You need to go work on your vehicle. I'm like, fucking great, and I'm frustrated and disappointed, but I'm not going to argue about it, because I mean, it's her car. She doesn't owe me the use of her car, although it's pretty shitty to say that you're going to do it and not hold your word when I'm relying on it. So anyway, so I'm kind of frustrated, but I get dressed and head out. My plan is, at that point, I'm going to walk to all kinds of stuff left behind here. Damn. So yeah, my plan is to walk out. My plan is to now that my plan was to drive her vehicle to work. That was the plan. But at that point, like, she basically just pulled the rug out from under me and left me high and dry, which is something that she's good at doing. Really good not at following through with her word. I don't know why. I'm just because promise of great sex. And to be fair, I got great sex. But not when she said it was going to happen. Still took a backseat to her damn aunt. After already making promises, she was going to be there at a very specific time after a, whatever. So yeah, she, I want to do a video about that there. City of Phoenix hearing, zoning adjustment. 414 North 48th Street and 4604 East McKinley Street. And I'm not even going to go on that tangent, but that's a very interesting thing wrapped around that sign there. And I got a feeling the people that own this house are making insane amount of money selling it to the developers that are requesting that zoning adjustment. But that's another topic for another video another time. So anyway, back to Friday morning, and her suddenly, when there's no time, for other plans, because I had made my plans and left my alarm set based on what she had promised she was going to help me out with. And then suddenly she's not going to help me out. At which point it's like, here we go with this bullshit again. And I get myself dressed. And at that point, I'm trying to walk to the street so I can get on the app, get myself a Waymo, take the Waymo to my place, call AAA, get a jump start, and hopefully drive to work. Yeah, that's not how that went down whatsoever. I got to, I couldn't even get out of her goddamn apartment complex because it's gated and there's no way to exit. At least there wasn't yesterday morning. Friday morning. Still feels like Friday night, but it's Saturday morning. So I'm in that part of the day where the word yesterday is confusing. But anyway, Friday morning, roughly 4 a.m. I can't get out. And I'm thinking about climbing the fence. I'm like, she's got all pissed off at me the last time I did that and yelled at me, and it upset me so much I just fucking left. But at this point I'm kind of desperate, and she's already like let me down on saying she was gonna let me use her vehicle, and then suddenly I'm on foot, left to my own devices again. And and did I mention somewhere in the midst of all of this, while I was in her bed, she told me I need to marry her? Oh, ninja, please. So, yeah. So, she's, start trying to gather my thoughts here. So at this point I've already just given up on her, but suddenly I can't leave, and I'm ready to hop the fence, but I'm not seeing. When I hopped over the fence to get in her place, there was something that I was able to easily step on that made it really easy to just bounce over the fence and land on the other side and walk to her place. She saw me do it, got all fucking pissed off about it, but I mean, it was really simple. Well, going out, not that simple. So really effective security gate her complex has. Security gate or fence her complex has, where it's super easy to jump over and go in, but very difficult to get out. I guess their plan is to trap people. But yeah, I walked along like the gate by the front where the vehicle entrance is, and the pedestrian gate, and the door won't, the knob just absolutely won't turn. There's no exiting through the security gate, the pedestrian gate, which is a security gate, but you're supposed to be able to just simply walk out without a did and there's not a place. I mean, did I have the code? But there's no way to input the code on the inside, and they've got like mesh to where you can't reach through the bars to input the code, because if the mesh wasn't there, I could just reach to the bars and input the code on the outside of the security knob thing and open it that way. But no, can't even fucking do that. I just absolutely can't open it. And oh, it smells like piss through here for some reason. Gross. It smells really foul through here, like dog feces and stuff. Yikes. Wasn't ready for that smell. Anyway, from there, I walk and see if maybe there's some kind of button or something that'll from the inside where I can manually get the vehicle gate to open. I'm not seeing anything, and getting out through the pedestrian gate, and then I kind of walk around like the pool house, see if maybe some of the other wall. But yeah, it's like a 6-foot high center block wall, and there's just no place where I can really hoist myself. I mean, I probably could have climbed over it, but I'm not trying to cut myself up or, but really frustrated. At that point, I call her on the phone I'm just like, yeah, I can't even get out the gate. Like, I'm locked in here. What the fuck? Why are you doing this to me? She's all skeptical. Will you turn the knob? Yeah, don't you think I tried that? There's no turning the knob. There's no leaving here. I can't leave. And so yeah, that's anyway, I had to wait quite a while before she walked out, and to be fair, I mean, she had to put clothes on. I left her, she was in bed naked. That's fine. But yeah, she comes out. The first thing she does, she comes to the gate, turns the knob. I already told you the knob doesn't work. Why don't you listen to me? Why don't you believe me when I tell you shit? You think I'm making this stuff up so you'll come and play with the gate? Don't you think I would already be gone if I could already be gone? It's your fucking brain, woman. So, yeah. She walks back. I'm standing there like, she doesn't even tell me what's going on. No communication at all. I'm just standing there like I'd like to leave now. Like she didn't, at least she could have done. I know she's got like some kind of a key fob or something that will open the vehicle gate. She could have at least come out with that and hit the button so I could just simply fucking walk and be left to my own devices. And at this point, it seems like she's letting me down after having already promised I could use her vehicle. Well, anyway, she pleasantly surprised me after that, after all of that annoyance and stress, she lets me in the door by her parking, covered parking, which is by her back door. She's got a front door and a back door. Sorry, just thinking about her back door and how she never lets me go in there. She don't love me like that. Yeah. So anyway, I digress. Yeah, even as good as the sex is, there's plenty of letdowns in that department as well. So, anyway, she, and those are things that more reasons why I wouldn't marry her. Like, seriously, I would not marry a woman who doesn't do all the things in the bedroom that I would like to do. Full stop. Oh, and did I mention she's still a smoker? And now she smokes inside her apartment. She used to never smoke inside. She always go outside to smoke. And she's literally smoking in the freaking living room while I was there. And she knows how I feel about cigarette smoke. So, yeah, so not marriage material. Not even close. Oh, so anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought here. I walk back inside, and she's like, well, can you drive over to your place? And I'm like, well, sure. So she has me drive her SUV over there, and she's like, well, have you called AAA yet? No. I don't know how quick AAA is going to show up. AAA has occasionally shown up in like 5 minutes. They've been around the corner and they've not been busy. So to me, it's pretty rude to call a service that shows up at a location if you're not already at that location. In fact, that was what she did that pissed me off so much when I hopped her fence, and then she got pissed off because I hopped her fence because I couldn't get the gate code to work. She had told me to come to her apartment. She wasn't even fucking at her apartment. So had the code worked, I would have got to her apartment and I would have knocked on the door for her to not be there. When she told me to come over, don't tell me to come over if you're not there. Or at least say you're going to be there at a specific time and actually be there at that specific time. That specific time, not CPT, but actual real time on everybody else's clocks. That's what we use. That's why we have clocks on everything. So, yeah. Yeah, so she's getting shitty with me because I haven't called AAA. Well, for starters, I'm not calling AAA until I'm there next to my car, and I have the car keys, and I know I'm ready for them. Because that's rude and that's wrong. But apparently she's okay with that. So again, more things that make her not marriage material. That she would potentially inconvenience a AAA worker in that way. By saying, oh yeah, come here, I'm ready for you, when you're not there and not ready for you. But yeah, I get over there. Or anyway, so we're driving over there. Well, at that point, since I'm driving, she's using her smartphone app or their website or whatever to order a Jumpstart. And AAA service was great. I mean, they showed up pretty quick. In fact, they said they weren't going to be there until 5, and they showed up probably 20-30 minutes quicker than what their ETA was. So that was pretty awesome. So good thing I didn't order it before I was there. And when she started getting in my face about, why haven't you called AAA yet? It's like, I haven't even made it out your gate yet. Because she's saying that when I walk back into her apartment. I'm like, I haven't even made it out your gate yet. I'm not going to call AAA until I'm there and ready for them. I said, I don't know why would I call AAA and have them come to my car when I don't even know when I'm going to make it to my car? I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to my car. At this point, I haven't even made it out of your security gate. Well, you can call them. No, I mean, I guess I could, but no, not doing that. So, anyways, I'm not really happy with her, but at least she's still helping me out, but not a pleasant morning. Not holding up to what she promised me, which was that I would just be able to simply take her vehicle without any problems and go to work. Whereas it's not how it's working out. So AAA comes, jump starts my car starts right up, not a problem. And then they're running a test on the battery and a test on the electrical system. And I absolutely have to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to find a tree and I'll be right back to finish this. And I'm back, ready to finish this miserable story, at least make more progress on it. So it's still late Friday night, early morning, Saturday, June 10th, 2:58 a.m. And kind of surprisingly, no messages or phone calls from Priscilla since I walked away, which, yeah, I think it was pretty clear just how much her stupidity upset me. Yeah, I feel a little bad because I did use her car to drive to work and back, which probably used about a quarter tank. It drives an SUV and it doesn't get particularly good mileage, and it's not running optimally. And I did say I was going to replace that gas, but that I hadn't done that yesterday because I didn't have time, which is the honest to God truth. I figured I would be driving it again in the near future. In fact, once I realized that my car was not going to be done last night, I figured I'd be driving it to work this morning. Speaking of which, what time is it? I know I just said what time it is, but I forgot already. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. So, yeah, I should be leaving in 15 minutes, and I'm well over a 15-minute walk away from her place. So, no, I'm not going to work this morning, which is fine. As I explained earlier, it's not like I'm going to be penalized for not showing up in terms of, no call, no show, whatever you want to call it. It was very, very, hey, if you can make it, that'd be awesome. But if you can't, don't sweat it. Take care of your car. See you on Monday. Which is, going to be my focus at this point. Take care of my car and make sure I have a reliable way to get to work on Monday. And I'm not going to depend on Priscilla to help me out because it's very clear that I can't depend on Priscilla. Very clear. She's just not dependable and doesn't keep her word. So it was a bummer because I'm wide awake. I'm definitely down to, I would have really, really liked to do that. And I say there's no penalty. Oh, no, there's a penalty. I mean, I was looking at 9 hours worth of work, which would have got me to 40 hours, because I did miss a day at work this week, and had me an hour of overtime, so I could finally get a paycheck with some overtime on it. Although, as I mentioned, they overpaid me an hour and a half last week, so maybe I would get maybe I'm looking at a paycheck. I'd be looking at a paycheck of 39 and a half hours. But as it is, I'm not even going to have a paycheck for 40 hours. So very, very frustrated at the loss of income at a time when I could use the goddamn income. And I still haven't figured out why my Wells Fargo balance was a couple $100 lower than I anticipated it being after I made my direct deposit. Or not direct deposit, I'm sorry, but after I deposited my physical paycheck, where I had to walk away from a rogue security guard was getting in my face while I'm just trying to endorse a goddamn paycheck. What a fucking ass. Anyway, so yeah, I'm with Priscilla, and we're over at my place, and AAA shows up fairly quick, and I'm not even really in the mood to talk to her, and I'm super tired. And at this point, I'm sitting in the front seat of my car, kind of trying to take a nap, but not get into total deep sleep. That that when AAA shows up, I'm not ready to help them out. And I've got my trunk popped, because I drive a Saturn Ion, and my battery is located in my trunk. There's one of Phoenix finest. Yeah. So yeah. And I know I'm like repeating myself, but they showed up, jump started the car, determined that there was no charge coming from the charging system on the car, which of course I'm not. I was willing to drive the car like that from my place to Rob's shop. That's a really short, quick local drive. And worst case scenario, the car dies en route to that. I'm well within my walking distance-ish world in which I could, call AAA, have them tow it the rest of the way to the Rob's shop, and then, take a Waymo or a bus, or just walk home. I'm in my world. The Williams-Sonoma warehouse is nowhere near my world. I mean, I always found it oppressively how far away Amazon GYR3 was. But, yeah, it's more than twice as far to Williams-Sonoma. And unlike GYR3, which has 4 bus routes that service it quite well, the closest thing to a bus that goes to Williams-Sonoma is as I said earlier, the Route 70 to Luke Air Force Base. And not every bus goes to Luke Air Force Base. So anyway, as I was going through this morning, I forget how early the bus starts, but probably around 4 a.m. That's pretty normal. And I was hoping I could maybe get over there by like 5 or 6. Like if I get there by 5 or 6, it'd be worth my time to go ahead and go out there, even though it's obvious I wasn't going to make it there by 4. I'll get there by 6. Hell, even as late as 7, it would be worth it. But yeah, the first several buses coming from this part of Phoenix, going north on 24th Street and out Glendale, out to Luke Air Force Base. The first several buses don't go that far. They only go to 43rd Avenue. The first one that actually goes there doesn't get there until 8:08 a.m. That's what led to us having the argument behind
Wait.
I don't want to wait. Oh, by the way, I'm shooting on Obamaphone right now because the iPhone is down to 14% on its battery, and as unhealthy as my battery is, 14% is. It could just be a couple minutes of video and then a dead phone, and I'm not trying to have a dead phone. dead phone when I might still want to use it for some other transportation option or calls or whatever right now. Ooh, big yikes there. A bunch of flowers. That's kind of neat. So I already walked by where Natalie's encampment was, and it's gone. So really hoping I'll run into her here, but I'm not trying to have much interaction. Homeless, no zombies in this part of town because they're all super fucking sketchy, and I'm walking by them. Sometimes they freak out when they see I'm carrying a camera, as if you can see anything on this camera at night. So, yeah. Ooh, look, I'm next to Ruby 2 Day. I find it funny that they have that sign lit up because this Ruby Tuesday's location has been closed for quite some time. And just kind of fence surrounding it. And you see they're really letting the property go. Well, I guess you can't see because they don't shoot video at night worth of shit, but plenty of trash inside the gate and the weeds are all overgrown and stuff. It's a bummer. I used to like coming to this Ruby Tuesday a lot. I had a friend that used to be a waitress there. I'd known for many, many years. She used to be a bartender and a waitress when I worked at the Set as a karaoke host back in 2005. Yeah, I'm not in touch with her anymore, unfortunately, but we stayed in touch for many, many years, well over a decade. So anyway, back to the Priscilla debacle. After AAA leaves, my car is still idling just fine, but I'm not willing to drive it all the way to the Williams-Sonoma Furniture Warehouse when there's a high probability that it's not even going to make it that far. And even if it does make it that far, then how the hell do I get home? So yeah, just doesn't seem worth that risk. And I'd already texted, I'd already shot a text to Victoria that my car was not starting. Pretty much the time that, because I figured Priscilla had told me that had told me at about 7:30 p.m. Thursday night that I could use her vehicle to go to work the following day. So I thought that was covered. She didn't renege on that until my alarm clock went off at 10 minutes to 4. So as soon as that happened, as I was walking to the gate, which I couldn't get out, I sent a text to Victoria and said that hey, my car is not starting. That I'm doing what I can to get in there. Sorry about that. I'm not afraid of exactly what I texted her. Actually, hey, the iPhone is in my pocket. I can look and see exactly what I texted her. I still haven't got her phone number in here. A bunch of texts from different numbers for AAA today. And some really sketchy phishing email from SF1EFA@SINA.com saying USPS, the package has arrived at the warehouse and cannot be delivered. I'm not even responding with that saying what package. That is such an obvious phishing attempt. Oh, I did say first step is Victoria. It says right there, Victoria. Yeah, 4:20 a.m. My car isn't starting. I've called AAA for a jump. Oh, apparently I didn't text her until I got to my place. But anyway, I wrote, my car isn't starting. I've called AAA for a jump, but don't know how long they'll take. At that point, I'm kind of optimistic that, when they jump it, it'll be just fine, because I'm thinking I might have left my headlights on. So I do that on occasion. Might have left my headlights on between the time when I got home from work and then the time I decided that I was going to go over to Priscilla's place. But yeah, that was sent at 4:20. And she texted me back at 5:04, although I didn't see it until I walked in the building, and before I even had a chance to respond to her text, I saw her in the hall. So always nicer to just respond to somebody in person, face to face, than having to deal with electronic communications. But yeah, she. So I covered that, and of course, had I not figured out, had Priscilla not come through with letting me use her vehicle, I would have sent another text message saying, "Hey, that's my car's broke," and and would that have caused me to lose my job? I really don't know. I really don't know. Certainly, one of the things that was in the job description that was listed on ZipRecruiter.com was must have reliable transportation. Yeah, I found the only truly reliable transportation is my own two legs, and their warehouse is way farther than I can get there using my own two legs. But as you see, I get around a pretty substantial distance around East Phoenix using my own two legs. Just crossed Van Buren Street on 44th Street. Could have gone over that Circle K. Oh, well, there's somebody driving like a complete idiot. Anyway, so she's asking, what am I going to do? I said, well, I don't feel the car's, I don't think the car is it's too big of a risk to drive it all the way there. I don't think it's going to make it there. And even if it makes it there, I don't think I'd be able to make it back. I said, that's just more trouble waiting to happen. I need to get the car over to Rob, have him check the alternator. The charging system's not working. It's funny when I told her the charging system's not working, how she doesn't understand what that means. Cars are not that complicated, especially gas cars. I said, what does that mean? It means it's not charging the battery, so the battery is dying. It's not able to keep running. Well, it's running right now. It's running right now, but it's, for how long, I don't know. It's not replenishing the charge in the battery. Why is it doing that? I don't know. Could be a faulty alternator. Could be a, some kind of a connection. It could be a lot of things. Most likely it's the alternator. Could be the voltage regulator in the alternator. I don't know. Somebody else going to have to figure that out. That's a little bit beyond what I'm willing to diagnose myself and work on myself. So that's Rob's department. Of course, at one point she's like, well, you shouldn't bring it back to Rob. Get someone else, because he'll keep your car for too long. And granted, Rob has done a whole lot of keeping my car too long, but of course I should take it back to Rob. Hello, he just put an alternator in it like a month ago, less than a month ago. That shit's still under warranty. It's under warranty. Why would I not take it to Rob? It's under warranty. I'm not even going to pay for this repair. I already paid for this repair, It's warranty service. Anyway, she's like, well, what are you going to do? I said, there's not much I can do. She's like, well, I guess you can go ahead and take my vehicle. Which is really shitty, because that's what she told me the day before at like 7:30 p.m., an hour and a half after the time she said she was going to join me in bed. Which she didn't follow through with when I woke up, which at this point has wasted over an hour of my time. And created a whole lot of undue stress. So yeah, we, at that point, and things were better at that point when she said that, she's like, well, don't go over 65 and take it easy and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. So I drop her off and proceed to drive to work. Car ran trouble-free. Her vehicle ran trouble-free. All the way there. Didn't shoot any video on that because I don't have any kind of phone holder, and I'm not
Her vehicle's steering is squirrely enough without me trying to hold a cell phone while I'm driving it. It pulls really hard to the right. And the Saturn, for all the issues it has, when it drives really, really good. I can take my hands off the wheel and just go straight down the road. It is a smooth, comfortably driving car, or as hideous as it looks. And all the occasional issues it has, driving straight down the road and handling are not part of its issues. But yeah, Priscilla's vehicle pulls so hard to the right that sometimes to change lanes to go to the right, you actually turn the wheel a little bit less to the left than how you turn it to the left to keep it going straight down the road. It's not a pleasant vehicle to drive. Oh, and that's one of the things. She goes, if I let you use my vehicle, you're not going to complain about it? I'm like, yeah, sure. And of course, it's still as dirty and cluttered as it's ever been. She has dangly things that touch my leg hanging from her keys, which of course messes with my sensory issues. I can't handle,